Good morning, good day, good evening. All right, folks, buckle up, because if you thought the Epstein situation, the shutdown, and the Sanctuary City meltdown were wild, this is where things get downright chaotic. Today we're talking about Zoran Mamdani, or as his supporters lovingly call him, Mamdani. The far left's rising star, the progressive hero, the revolutionary they thought was going to lead them into their fantasy utopia. Well, guess what? His own base is turning on him. And I don't mean slowly, I don't mean quietly, I mean right now, in real time. They're eating each other alive like political piranhas in a kiddie pool. And the reason? The thing that sent the far left into meltdown mode? His meeting with President Donald J. Trump in the Oval Office? Yes. That alone was enough to ignite a civil war inside the progressive movement. Before we dive in, quick reminder, if you enjoy daily political breakdowns and actual analysis, not the mainstream media fairy tale version, make sure to subscribe. It helps the channel massively. All right, take a look at this.
He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Mm-hmm. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
You've also said in the past that President Trump has engaged in a, quote, attack on our democracy. You've called him a despot. Do you still believe President Trump is a threat to the democracy?
Everything that I've said in the past, I continue to believe. And that's the thing that I think is important in our politics, is that we don't shy away from where we have disagreements, but we understand what it is that brings us to that table. Because I'm not coming into the Oval Office to make a point or make a stand. I'm coming in there to deliver for New Yorkers.
Now, what makes this moment so fascinating is the complete ideological whiplash happening on the left. These are the same radical progressives who have spent years lecturing everyone with that infamous little slogan. If you've got 10 people at a table and one of them is a fascist, you've got 10 fascists at the table. Translation: if you even talk to a fascist, if you even share air with a fascist, if you acknowledge their existence without screaming, congratulations, you're a fascist now. This is the rule they created, their purity test, their morality chain. But here comes their hero, their shining symbol of socialism, Mr. Mamdani himself sitting in the Oval Office, smiling, laughing, shaking hands, breaking bread with the same fascist they claim is the greatest threat to democracy. Suddenly their whole ideology collapses in on itself like a dying star. And trust me, they're furious. The tweets, insane. The TikToks, unhinged. The Reddit threads, nuclear. Progressives are calling him a traitor, a sellout, a fraud, a coward, a collaborator. Some left-wing activists literally claim that by entering the Oval Office, he legitimized fascism. And I'm just sitting here like, you voted for this man. What did you think was going to happen? But it actually gets even better. While the far left is busy canceling their own candidate, ICE officials dropped a bombshell. They're stepping up operations in New York City under Mamdani's leadership. Yes, you heard that right. These radically progressive voters pulled the lever thinking they were getting a communist revolution, open borders, sanctuary state utopia, abolish ICE fantasyland, redistribution of wealth, rent freezes, free everything. And instead, they're getting ICE raids, National Guard discussions, federal coordination, Trumpian law and order policy. For all the third world communists out there screaming into their pillows right now, let me say something clearly. America first is non-negotiable. It's happening whether you like it or not. And the best part, there's absolutely nothing they can do to stop it. Watching this unfold is honestly hilarious because Donald Trump is running strategic laps around these people and they don't even realize it. They're too blinded by hatred, too emotional, too invested in their own propaganda to see what's actually happening. Every time Trump interacts with these progressives, they think they're owning him. No, Trump got exposed. No, Mamdani embarrassed him. No, this is a win for the left! Meanwhile, Trump is sitting there like a grandmaster chess player, moving pieces they don't even notice. It's purposeful ignorance. People like Harry Sisson, prime examples, are out here babbling nonsense while Trump is dropping policy bombs on live TV. Harry, buddy, the only thing getting dropped is mid-quality AI sludge on your forehead. Let's talk about the moment the left thinks was their big win. You've seen the clip. Trump asks Mamdani if he thinks he's a fascist. They claim Mamdani owned Trump. They claim he was bold. They claim he spoke truth to power. Meanwhile, what actually happened? Mamdani froze. He hesitated. He didn't want to say it. And Trump, seizing the moment, smoothly goes, "No, go ahead. Tell us how you really feel." That is psychological dominance. Mamdani looked like a kid being scolded by his father. Trump looked unbothered, calm, and in control. When Mamdani finally muttered, "Yes," it came off weak, awkward, forced, not powerful. Calling someone a fascist has lost all its impact. The word has been used so much it now carries about as much weight as calling somebody a pineapple. Trump basically said, "Say whatever you want. I don't care." He drained the label of any remaining force. Let's watch the rest of this clip.
I think that some of your supporters would be curious to know, you say you stand by your past statements that, yes, he's a threat to the democracy. How do you square working with someone who you still think is a threat to the democracy?
I think working for the people of New York City demands that you work with everyone and anyone, and that you always look to find those areas of agreement while not overlooking the places of disagreement. And I think this was something that came up in our meeting. We spoke about immigration. We spoke about the fact that in New York City, we have sanctuary city policies that allow for the city to work with the federal government on around 170 serious crimes. The concern for so many New Yorkers comes about anything beyond that. And I spoke about the importance of us being able to protect New Yorkers, and some of the incidents that we see, they do not do that.
Let's talk visuals. Mamdani called Trump a dictator, said he'd be Trump's worst nightmare, campaigned on fighting fascism, made videos proclaiming Trump as an existential threat, and yet there he was, sitting in Trump's office, smiling, laughing, taking selfies, shaking hands. That alone completely destroys the narrative the left has been pushing for years. Because if Trump is really Hitler 2.0, why are you flying across the country to meet him like he's your favorite celebrity? Why aren't you in a bunker resisting the regime? Why are you asking for deals and cooperation? It exposes all of it as political theater. This is where the contrast becomes undeniable. Trump, calm, strategic, focused, not taking the fascist bait, offering cooperation, rising above petty partisanship, saying he wants cities to succeed regardless of ideology. Mamdani, nervous, emotional, overcompensating, playing theater kid politics, trying to maintain progressive street cred, getting exposed as a hypocrite, looking way out of his depth. Trump comes off like the responsible adult. Mamdani comes off like an inexperienced activist pretending to be a statesman, and Trump noticed it. Instantly, here's where Trump shows his real genius. He defends Mamdani. He protects him from a dumb reporter's gotcha question about flying instead of driving. He defends him against the idiotic jihadi extremist smear that some lobbyists tried pushing, which honestly was always a stupid line of attack. He treats Mamdani with respect, and the left goes, "See? Trump loves Mamdani. Trump lost." No, you idiots. He's doing that on purpose. Trump is elevating Mamdani, positioning him as the face of the Democrat Party, tying Democrats to radical socialist ideology, forcing Democrats into a corner, making them defend their most extreme member. This is political judo. This is entrapment by optics. This is how you shape the narrative before the election even starts. Imagine a general election where the Democrats are branded as the Democratic Socialist Party. Good luck winning the Rust Belt, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania with that label. Good luck winning swing states. Good luck appealing to moderates. Trump just pushed them into a corner so tight they can't even turn around. He crowned Mamdani, put the spotlight on him, and said, "Yes, this is the future of the Democratic Party." And the best part, The left is too obsessed with headlines to realize they got played. They're out here celebrating a moment that was actually Trump's checkmate. They're too busy high-fiving each other to notice they walked into a trap. Trump played them like chumps. They don't even know it yet. Absolutely freaking epic. All right, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.